This is the new normal at Auchenharvie Academy and in all secondary schools across Scotland.
Face mask on, please.
And head teacher Callum Johnson has put every effort into making his school safe for staff and his 700 pupils. The start of the school year must have been very challenging. Did you have to make a lot of changes then?
Yeah, of course we did. It's been challenging for everybody. Safety, of course, has been the paramount importance for everybody. Hand sanitizer everywhere we go. Equipment is wiped down regularly, and we have individual entrances for year groups of young people. We're just happy to see our young people here. We feel it's the right thing that they are here 5 days in the week.
So are the kids taking this seriously? Are they wearing their masks?
I would say very much so. I could sit here and say 100%, probably not. But by and large, the overwhelming majority of young people in our school are very in tune with what's been going on, what impact it's had on their lives and in their community, and obviously they're now seeing that back in school. I think they're just delighted to be back at school.
I was so bored in the house, and doing like the online lessons I was kind of struggling because I wasn't a teacher to directly ask. I had to email back and forth, so it was really good to get back to get like face-to-face learning.
I was quite excited because it was starting to get boring just being in the house all the time. And because it was the summer holidays, we didn't even have schoolwork to do anymore. So you were just stuck in the house all day.
It was getting very boring at home, being by yourself or with siblings, but it's much better being back.
Okay, you've got your 8 bars. What do you think?
Yes, there were nerves, but to be honest, those nerves happen at the start of every term anyway.
It's not just the pupils who've had to adapt to new school rules. This is a first term back like no other for teachers too.
Thank you.
What's it been like since you came back?
It's been a really positive experience in the most part. It's been a bit strange initially, even just getting used to the new routines.
How did you feel about coming back to work?
I was a wee bit wary about coming back into the school environment, but I think we were all ready for a wee bit of normality to resume and to see the young people again, because we had missed them terribly during lockdown, and we were keen to try and move forward and support them as much as we possibly could, because that's why we do the job that we do.
So teaching music must have particular challenges at the moment. I mean, for instance, you're not allowed to sing, are you? That must really kind of take the joy out of it all.
Yeah, it has done, and it's had a massive impact on ourselves as a department, because it's really the life and soul of what we do down here. We are still covering instruments as part of our course down here. We're just taking extra precautions as far as cleaning down all the instruments at the start and at the end of every lesson. So it's just about taking every precaution that we possibly can.
We're going to look at the same numbers here, but what we're going to do is we're going to round each number to 1 decimal place.
The vast majority of Scotland's 2012 primary and 357 secondary schools have managed to avoid infection since opening last month.
It's been great having the young people back in the school building, seeing the excitement in their faces when they meet up with their peers and when they see their teachers, and it's been lovely seeing them all back together again.
Are the kids taking everything, all these different changes in their stride?
Initially it was quite difficult for them, it was difficult for me, to remember all about the one-way system, etc. But I think they're coping really, really well.
It's definitely different with the one-way system and face masks, and how you have to face forwards in every class.
It feels weird, but it's starting to kind of be like the new normal now.
Wearing the masks in school is I think through the corridors it makes you feel a lot safer, because it makes me feel safer.
Referrals to children's mental health services have soared during the pandemic. Pastoral care teachers, as well as a dedicated counsellor, have been helping children settle back into the school routine.
In the first couple of weeks, the focus has been exclusively on relationships, on well-being, on nurture, and getting to kind of reconnect with young people and finding out how they are. There's certainly a need for it, because we see on a daily basis young people that have been through the trauma of COVID is causing them distress and distressed behaviours, and it really is primary focus for us to work with every individual one of those young people to ensure they get the best supports that they possibly can to get them back into the right frame of mind for learning. And if we get that bit of things right, then I'm confident everything else will fall into place.
Some do have parents or family members that are very unwell,
and they are very worried and anxious about their well-being throughout this, so they're maybe not able to spend time with them at all just now outside of school. So within school, the relationships are paramount just now. Their guidance teachers, their favourite teachers, the janitor staff, the canteen staff, you see them come back and how important the relationships are to them.
Right, let's look at next one. If we look at 3.3.
Do you think there might be a lasting impact on some people, or do you think the children are resilient enough to bounce back? They're not all, are they?
Well, no, I mean, they are very resilient, but there will be lasting impacts, I think, on some of our young people, and that's where I think, as I say, we're very proactive with how we go about our supports and don't let things sit and fester. It's so important that we get them to talk.
Are pupils actually frightened of getting COVID itself?
I think some of them are, yes, some of them are, particularly if they maybe have a sibling who's particularly vulnerable, or they've got somebody at home that's maybe shielding, or again, high risk. So it's a case of working with them, having the check-ins, how do you feel about certain situations.
Wipe round your headphones, wipe round your music, wipe down the keys.
The threat of infection looms over all of us as we continue to live through the COVID crisis. What are your fears as you look at the year ahead, and what really keeps you awake at night?
I suppose the big one is, that we have a positive case in the school. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that for the young people, for the staff, for the community. So that would be one thing, and we have plans in place around what that might look like if it was to occur. And I guess my other big kind of fear for the year is our fourth years, our fifth years and our sixth years, and what their experience with regards to SQA might become. So we've got lots of plans in place just now about how our teachers engage with our young people to support as much evidence as they can in the event that we have a repeat situation as per last year, because they're really apprehensive of what that's going to look like. The sooner we have a decision, the better.
But a wee show of hands who managed to get the experiment done.
Our schools are a place of education and encouragement, but the challenges of 2020 have proved a steep learning curve for everyone. And who knows what the future holds. When you started your career as a head teacher, did you ever imagine that you would be doing this job during a pandemic?
Absolutely not. Have we learned from the experience? Absolutely. If there is a second version of this to come down the line, we will certainly have learned from the first time around. But no, it's certainly not something I ever thought in my teaching career that I would have to oversee.